many of you say grace at a meal? Why do you do it? Yeah, we're grateful, right? It's important. Why does it matter that we should be grateful as people? What does it say about us when we say that gratitude is something very important, right? I've got 4 kids. It was very important for us to teach each one of them to say thank you. And of course, it's difficult because they don't want to say thank you when they're very little often. And then the day happens when without you telling them to say thank you, they do. You say, oh, a little success as a parent. But saying thank you is difficult. Because to be thankful, you have to know. Right? So in German pietism and in philosophy, there is this wonderful phrase, denken ist danken, right? In English it translates beautifully too. Thinking is thanking. So people like Heidegger argued that it's only in terms of your thoughtfulness that you actually become a human being, and the expression of that thoughtfulness is in your ability to be grateful. Now, whether or not he realized that himself, that's another question. But to be grateful presupposes that you take the time to look at what's on your plate, if we're thinking about saying grace. And you have to enumerate what's going on there. Right? What's the life? What's the struggle? What's the vulnerability? What's the delight that's there? When I come to sit down and eat, what I find is that my head is just so packed of all the things that I've been doing and that I need to do. And so the Shakers, they had a really good idea. They said, for your grace, you need to be quiet for 2 minutes. Now, if you're hungry, 2 minutes is a very long time. But they believed it was important to do this because without taking the time to calm yourself down, it's going to be very difficult for you to appreciate anything. Right? Did you take the time to notice that this was the first strawberries of the year? Right? Because they're not grown all year round. Or did you notice that this pie, right, was made by somebody who's been working on pie for years, and this is really an incredible flavor explosion that you're about to enjoy? Right? This taking time to still yourself is an exercise in mindfulness, right? Which again is something that's not confined to Western religious traditions, right? Buddhism is all about mindfulness. When we don't become mindful, we discover that we commit and participate in actions that do a lot of damage. So saying grace isn't simply a pious act, it's actually a revolutionary act. Because when you take the time to see what's on your plate and you start to uncover the history of what's behind that food, you may be able to realize or see that you can't say amen at the end of this meal. Right? The word amen means let it be so. But what if you're looking on your plate and you discover that there's a tortured chicken there? Do you want to say, yeah, let's go? Maybe we'll have to say then, I can't eat that chicken, or I can't buy that chicken. And if you like chicken, you say, I'm going to find somebody who grows chickens in a way that thinks chicken happiness matters. Now, I'm not doing all of this to make you feel bad about all the food. What I'm doing is I'm giving you an invitation. Because when you decide, as an eater, that these questions about how eating is the expression of your humanity, and you decide that I want to be the kind of human being that contributes to the healing or even the celebration of the goodness and the delectability of our world, you now have the option to participate in a revolution, which is to advocate for an agriculture that brings healing to land, that brings healing to plants, to animals, to agricultural economies, right? This is hugely exciting. And I think we're seeing now, right? Duke Farm is an example of this. Young people, Emily Sloss, who started this farm, grew up in Iowa, but she didn't know how to farm, grow anything. And here, because she sees how food is a vital way for human beings to connect with each other and with their world around them, we can actually make something beautiful, something that promotes health in the lives of people. This is hugely exciting, and young people all across the country are realizing that when we can get our food right, when we can get our eating right, really, really wonderful things are going to happen. And besides, you get to enjoy a fabulous meal, right? What could be wrong with that?